Ready to go here in a matchup that we saw 1 year ago, and we talked about it in the pregame. Well, what a huge start it was for Aurora Central. 15-1 run to open the game up, but then Creek just whittled away and then took over the ball game. They ended up winning by 14 points on their run to get to the state championship before being knocked off by Mullen. Ironically, the winner of this contest will play Mullen in the Final Four. Let's take a look, first of all, for the Cherry Creek Bruins, the starters. And they're a little different than they were last year, and they have come around and played some pretty good basketball as they come in. The Bruins at 17-7, 10-4 in the conference, finished up second in the Centennial Conference. And there's Ahlbrandt, Heimbrock, of course, Link, Taylor Montgomery, and Trey Eckloff. Montgomery and Eckloff, the guys right there in the middle. It'll get a lot of those balls inside, and they like to go with the slow pace. And there's Mike Brookhart, head coach for the Bruins. He's told us earlier this season if they can keep a team under 47 points, pretty specific, they feel that they can win the game. And that's what they will be doing this afternoon defensively. Here's the starters now for Aurora Central, a perfect 25-0 coming in here, 10-0 in the Skyline League. And Skyline League improving. Cherokee Trail in there, Brighton in there, played very well. Brighton's only loss in the conference was to Aurora Central. These Trojans are on a roll, and starters look this way. Davy Johnson, the junior, Cunningham and Franklin, the two big guys. The seniors leading everything. Cunningham, the leading scorer on the team in their win over Pooter with 24 points. And then there is Josh Bond, the senior, and junior Joseph Goyer. The head coach for Aurora Central is the former coach, George Washington High School, and that is Bob Caton. He knows what a state championship is like, how to get them there. Now he's trying to teach the Trojans how to get there, as they have been. This is as far as they've gotten, the Elite Eight. Knocked out in the Sweet 16 2 years ago, Elite Eight last year. They'd like to make it to the Final Four this year, but they've got to get through the Bruins, who they've had troubles with here in the last couple of years. Corey Lopez and Marty Cesario here, and some keys to the game here, first of all, for the Bruins, Marty.
Well, I would think the Bruins, you know, you got to play what you do well and what got you here, which is basically, like I mentioned in the pregame segment, slow, methodical offense. You're going to run the post with Eckloff, big boy, 6'10". You got Montgomery, the superstar that we mentioned, 44. You see him getting in there for center circle. You know, if you can run that inside game, working those two post position players, you're going to be fine. Keep it slow. The pace very slow and methodical, as I said. But keep this in mind. The Aurora Central Trojans, they can handle that. They've already done it in their two postseason games they played. The previous game against Pooter, you know, they only scored 59 points, and they got the W. So Aurora Central does have the ability to kind of clamp things down, pull it back a little bit, and, you know, go away from the athleticism and get the job done.
Quick shot by the point. Johnson, Davy Johnson can't connect, and here come the Bruins back the other way. Carter Ahlbrandt, the point guard for Cherry Creek. The redhead, Karl Heimbrock, up top, and here it comes to Eckloff. Ball tipped around, controlled by Aurora Central. So the first turnover of the ball game here. Sean Cunningham will be running the point for the Trojans here in their gold and green uniforms.
We saw some of the Trojans and how they've done so well this season. See the shot go up. Yep.
Yeah. Stephen Franklin says hello right away.
Well, and the point I was going to bring up is Aurora Central, you know, they're not very good as far as percentage shooting, but they do shoot a heck of a lot more shots than the other squads they play. And they create that through turnovers and offensive rebounds. We just saw a turnover resulted in a Franklin bucket there, and all of a sudden the Trojans are on the board first.
Only allowed one shot that time. Ball inside. Little diagonal pass. Left hand won't go that time for Bond, and now whistle and a foul as Joseph Goyer was getting after it down low there. And the first foul of the ball game here, a 3-0 lead for Aurora Central.
You see Goyer on the screen. I mentioned how, you know, Cherry Creek has the two big boys in Montgomery and Eckloff. Goyer is going to be one of the big guys along with Josh Bond, who's got a battle against those two tall guys. And they're not as tall as Eckloff and Montgomery, but they sure are a heck of a lot more beefy. So I think that kind of evens things out. Look for number 55 taking on the other number 55 throughout this game inside the lane.
Nice drop step to get inside that time as Taylor Montgomery was already moving as the ball was coming in, and a hold against Josh Bond trying to keep him from doing that little drop step. Second team foul against Aurora Central.
Be funny to see what happens later on in the game with free throws. Neither squad very proficient from the charity stripe.
Crossover to Ahlbrandt for three. Missed that one well short, and the easy rebound for Cunningham as he was running in, and he'll bring it up for Aurora Central. Comes here to the near side as he looks in. Link guarding him man-to-man. Little spin move there. Shot up, not quite soft enough. And Montgomery high for the rebound. He's got it. Ahlbrandt now with it for the Bruins. They don't mind running a little bit when the opportunity's there, but they're good about pulling back and setting up the offense. Link to the corner. Out it comes. Eckloff. Back to Link, trying to get inside. Has it slotted away there. And again, we're seeing rough play. Goyer smacked that away, ended up coming down on top of Link there, but not a lot of whistles here in the late part of the state tournament.
Well, I like watching 55 in gold. We just saw a shot on him. That's Joseph Goyer. I mean, he's a cut individual. I don't know if he plays any football or not, but he could. Maybe a wrestler or something like that. That guy hits the weight room quite often, referring to Joseph Goyer. Like you mentioned, Corey, seems like refs feeling things out early. Going to see how physical it's going to get, but right now they're letting people bang.
Montgomery trying to complete the conventional three-point play here to tie things up. Can't quite get it to go. And the rebound down to Aurora Central. Josh Bond whistled for the foul. That's his second here in the contest already. 3 team fouls against Central. And that 3-2 lead. Little head fake, enough to move folks off as Franklin drives inside. He'll go to the free throw line. And that head fake sent 2 Bruins after him, and he was able to get into the lane.
And you saw what Franklin did, created some space for himself on the drive. Then you saw 44 in blue, Montgomery, who we featured in our pregame segment. He already made the decision that he wasn't going to let that ball go up near the bucket at all. He was going to foul Franklin, and I think it's a good call. I made a reference about the free throw shooting. Franklin, him individually, just a 67% free throw shooter. As a team, 68%. As a squad, all their core players, 68%.
Yeah, they did not shoot well in that Pooter matchup either. From the free throw line, 17 for 28. Although Franklin able to cash in 1 for 2 there, and a 4-2 lead early on for Aurora Central here. We're about 5:28 left in the first quarter, and a push right up top. Davy Johnson working there against Ahlbrandt, and that's going to be fun to watch. Johnson, a pretty good defensive player, but he's whistled for the foul.
We've made reference to it. Trojans like to create turnovers, and their guards are speedy, quick, very athletic. You're going to see a lot of these guys pressuring the Bruins ball handlers.
Eckloff up top with the basketball, looking for somebody to pass with. Now the big guy's going to put it on the floor. There's Montgomery, 15-footer up, a little short with it that time. The rebound, and Central's on the run. Cunningham has it. Quick recovery for the Bruins defense as Link comes back to front up Cunningham that time. 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Slow pace. It favors the Bruins, at least to this point, but the lead right now by Aurora Central. And there's a miss. High off the glass, and Link goes high for that rebound.
That's a good board by Link. Great position. Textbook, highest point. Left hand, pull it down. Get your possession.
Ryan Link, if I remember right, got his first start mid part of the season. Worked so hard in practice. They got him in there, got him started. We watched him start against Mullen in that matchup in a Centennial game that we had here on Comcast. Heimbrock picked up the dribble, a little trouble. Now Montgomery got pushed out, tried to dribble it out, and it was knocked away. And Caston Mabin is actually the one that they are saying was the last to touch it.
That's not a bad deal. Mabin, by the way, a guy who gets a couple of steals a game, and he doesn't play that much, so, you know, that shows him. You can see him on the screen right now with the ponytail. Looks like Troy Polamalu or a little bit there.
Yeah. There's Rick Giles that's come into the contest. Also, Scott Traina has come off the bench. Traina had a huge game against Monte Vista. Now, Davy Johnson has it blocked away as Link recovered, but got him with the body. And Johnson, right place, right time, as it was actually Cunningham that started that with the tip. So Aurora Central getting some early free throw opportunities here. We'll see if they cash in.
And what I see too is Johnson going down the court, streaking very aggressively. I think that's based off of what we saw where, you know, Creek kept possession, but Johnson was causing a little disruption. And I made that mention of where they're going to pressure the ball handlers. They think they can steal the ball every single time. And you can see he's got a little confidence. All of a sudden he's just flying down the court.
Johnson 1 for 2 from the free throw line, and lead goes to 3 for Aurora Central. 4:20 to go here in the first quarter. Montgomery gets it, gives it right back to Traina. Whoop, Traina picked up the dribble, and a quick trap comes to him, but they get it across the line. Giles goes over to Traina, and to the corner it goes to Link. Link trying to back his way in there on Mabin. Kicks it back out. Giles got it again. Hard pass inside. Link tried to give it right back, and he tips it out here to Giles. Jumper up. Won't quite go through, and Mabin high for the rebound. Trying any way they can to get the ball to Montgomery, but he's being fronted and then double teamed even when it looks like a pass might be coming to him.
And if Montgomery's going to hang out in the zone when the Bruins get possession, we'll see how the shot goes. That's why I had to shut up.
Cunningham and Franklin will launch him from just about anywhere. That's the first three-pointer for Sean Cunningham, and the lead goes to 6 now with 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Here's the point I wanted to make. Central's back on defense now. Goyer stays in the lane, and watch Franklin. He'll give up his guy and go in the lane and help Goyer out in the middle, especially when Montgomery's coming in there.
Eckloff with the basketball. Out comes to Giles, over to Traina. Back it comes to Giles. They come around the left side and around the horn, driving in. Eckloff, charging foul, going to be called there. And boy, I think Stephen Franklin took the brunt of that one there, but Eckloff going to be whistled for his first personal.
Yeah, interesting call. I thought perhaps number 11 was on the move. But you know what? It's a tough game. It's going to be hard to call. This should be fun. You made mention before. So far, very physical. Guys banging booties, slamming bodies against each other. Very big challenge for referees and officials right now in this particular contest.
Central, a top seed coming in here, beat Rocky Mountain to open up their tournament in the second round, then beat Pooter on Thursday nights. Cherry Creek had a little bit tougher run with it, as the Bruins had to open up in the second round still, but they had to face Gateway, and Jeff Sweet always coming prepared. They beat them by 11, then beat Monte Vista on Thursday 60-49.
Which is par for the course with what you said. You made a comment, Brookhart, Coach Brookhart for the Bruins says if I can keep teams at 47 points, you know, us stopping them defensively will be okay. Well, they gave up 46 and 49.
Yep,
They're
not bad.
on in the playoffs.
That's an average of Loretta almost 47. Turnaround shot by Mabin will go. And another key, Marty, that you had mentioned from Mabin, he doesn't play a lot. However, when he gets his shots, they've got to be quality shots, and he plays hard, goes for the steal and the rebounds.
Well, Mabin's one of the three that comes off the bench, and Caton says it all the time for Aurora Central. Basically, they're playing 8 players, the Trojans are. You got your main guys, your 5 starters, and then they go with Mabin, Goyer, Veasley coming off the bench. We haven't seen Brock Veasley yet, but we will. He's kind of an energy guard. But Mabin and Goyer coming off the bench, I mean, those are 2 beasts.
Yeah.
They're coming off the sidelines there.
Mabin whistled for the foul there. He tried to knock the ball away, got a piece of Taylor Montgomery's arm there. That's the first against Mabin. 15 foul against Aurora Central. Inbound. It's going to come to Heimbrock here up top as he works against Johnson.
Goyer back on Montgomery.
Montgomery's got it, spins in on Goyer, shot up, won't go, tipped around, and controlled by Aurora Central, and Goyer got up high for that rebound. Cunningham wants to pick the pace up here a little bit. Fakes to Franklin. Now he's stopping the basketball. Cherry Creek going to get after it. Defensively taken away. Link tried to turn and dribble with it. Taken away by Franklin. And now a jump ball. That possession going to stay with Aurora Central.
Good job, Karl Heimbrock. You can see him bending over trying to pick up Franklin. Heimbrock, 32 for the Bruins. He's a football player, knows how to play a little bit of defense. It's his job all night long to shadow number 11, who you see on the screen. That's Stephen Franklin. So far, he's doing a pretty good job of it. And I like his sportsmanship and picking up Franklin off the floor. And I like the competitiveness, too, because I do the same thing. Get back up, because I want to tag you all night long.
That's right. That's right.
Now we see Heimbrock's going to inbounds the ball for the Bruins.
Well, and that jump ball, that possession arrow, the possession is going to stay where it's at now. They did not change it. Aurora Central won the tip. They did not fix the arrow, so Aurora Central won the tip. That means they got the first possession, so Creek will get this one, and they switch the arrow again to go back Cherry Creek's way. They need to switch the arrow back, but now they have. Heimbrock over to Montgomery, 3 on the way. Missed it short. Rebound, and that's Cunningham there. Wants to push the pace. Creek back on defense. Ball knocked away from behind. Heimbrock diving forward out of bounds here. He's okay as he comes into press row. Trying to save it. It'll stay with Aurora Central.
Now, if you're a guard in the 8th grade, junior high ball, one of the feeder teams, you saw the point guard bringing it up the floor, and you see what the problem is. Cunningham the whole time knew he had 2 blue jerseys in front of him. His eyes never left the basketball.
Yeah.
So had no idea, no vision, no presence of mind of what's going on outside him. And look, all of a sudden, one of the Bruins just flipped it to the outside. Fortunately for the Trojans, they retained possession.
Trojans up 10-2 here. We got 1:26 to go in the first quarter. Low scoring affair, particularly for the Bruins. High post. Goyer nearly threw that one to us here on press row. Franklin, good thing he's got some hops, has that one. They give it to Cunningham. Now they're going to slow it down here a little bit. Want to spread the defense out a bit. Cunningham back to Franklin. Franklin slipped a little bit. Flipped it over to Mabin. 3 on the way. Missed it short. Loose ball tipped around, and now Heimbrock's got it for Cherry Creek.
That's great Bruins D, forcing Mabin to shoot from the outside. That's everything you want if you're the Bruins defenders.
Traina up top with it. Over he goes to the right side. That's Keith that's in there. Now Heimbrock, turnaround shot, 15-footer goes. Karl Heimbrock will not shoot the basketball a lot, but when he does it when he has the opportunity to make the best shot and have the best look at the basket. Really takes open shots, isn't afraid to shoot, but he's not the type of guy who's going to drive in and try to make things happen by himself. Missed by Aurora Central. Montgomery's got it. Now it comes to Traina. Traina to dribble the basketball up.
It's all about Montgomery for Cherry Creek. Nobody else on the Bruins team is averaging double figures or more. It's only Taylor Montgomery. We mentioned 17 points a game. Heimbrock 6 a game. And like you said, Corey, he knows how to pick his spots.
Trying to play for the last shot. 5 seconds left. Traina stops. He's going to throw up a shot, and he is fouled as he is fading away, throwing up a wild shot because the clock was running down, and Veasley is going to be whistled for the foul. He was right up in his grill the entire time.
Veasley just got into the game maybe a little too excited. We call that a bailout because that was probably not a high percentage shot. Would that be fair to say? Over the shoulder, kind of a sideways hook.
Well, now a chance for Traina to shoot 3 free throws here, and he'll drop the first one. And a chance for Creek to narrow the lead down here a little bit before we end the first half. And we've just got 1 second left here in this first quarter, I should say. Traina 2 for 2. He's got another one coming here.
You're right, Corey. That's big. Trojans were on a 6-love run. Now the Bruins, they got a bucket from Heimbrock. A couple of free throws here. They get one more. I'm going to cut the lead within 3. That's not bad.
Third one. Can't quite get it to go. Brought down by Goyer, and that's where we end the first quarter. 10-6. The low-scoring affair. And Aurora Central so far looks pretty good. Up by 4. After 1 quarter, just a year ago that they were up 15-1, and Cherry Creek whittled it away and then took over the ball game to move into the Final Four. But again, we throw this out there, a slower paced game. Aurora Central is not supposed to be able to hang in a game like that, right? They've got the lead by 4.
And your first reaction would be, oh, Cherry Creek's got them playing the Bruins type of ball game. But don't underestimate the versatility of the squad. Aurora Central, I mean, defensively, they only average giving up 50 points a game. 7 times they've held opponents in the 30s. 51 and under 6 of the last 7 games. That's at the end of the season. Aurora Central has held teams 51 points and under, so they know how to play the slow-paced game. It's just that they're a heck of a lot more fun when they put 90+ on the board.
7:41 to go here in the first half. And a 4-point lead, but a foul, and that goes against Stephen Franklin. And Franklin, that's his first. 17 fouls, so we go to the free throw line. Karl Heimbrock going to be there. And free throws right now for Cherry Creek, keeping them in this contest. Montgomery tried to tip it, lost control of it. He was high enough to grab the rebound himself.
We talk about the slow pace so far. Cunningham is trying to see if he can get a fast break going. Creek is just so darn good as far as getting back defensively.
There's Veasley up top with it to Mabin as they try to spread Cherry Creek defense out here a little bit. And Link is right on Sean Cunningham, not letting him do much. Heimbrock covering Franklin. Veasley threw it away.
Ooh, boy. Karl Heimbrock, you are sneaky like that because I just saw you grab a gold jersey as Franklin was coming across. You saw that too?
Yeah.
It was right underneath the basket. But hey, if you can get away with it.
A lot of clutching and grabbing there. Traina runs right into Veasley. Montgomery will give it to Heimbrock now. And they swing it around the horn, linked to the corner. Traina, not enough time to even get that three-pointer off, threw it away. There's Franklin now as he'll go up and dunk it home. Eckloff tried to follow and swipe it from behind. Instead, Stephen Franklin with a big two-pointer there, and the lead is doubled up to 12-6.
What a great play and a smart move too. That wasn't a fancy play. That wasn't a kid playing, you know, chili sauce, hot dip or whatever, and one basketball. No, he knew that he's going to have guys on him. So my best case for high percentage is to dunk the ball.
To the corner, Traina for three. In and out won't go. Link tried to tip it back up and a late whistle, but I think Goyer going to be whistled for it as he got Link right there on the arm.
Well, so far Link is very active in the lane. You talked about him, you know, just became a starter not too long ago. Certainly wasn't at the start of the year, but he's been very active so far. We've called out 33 a few times. Now he's at the line after very nice positioning. Got a good rebound, got it tipped away from him, but then got fouled.
So Link to the free throw line, shooting the 1-and-1 here. Can't get it to go, and Montgomery had it for a moment in his hand, tried to tip it in, and it was knocked away. He'd actually got up over Goyer there. By the way, Joseph Goyer whistled for his second personal on that loose ball foul. Franklin kicks over Cunningham for three. Missed it long, and the rebound. Heimbrock gets that long rebound. Cunningham was headed down the court.
I like that vision by Franklin. He was on the drive, and then saw Cunningham to the outside. They didn't get the basket there. He just shows and showcases more of the versatility of Stephen Franklin, what we'll see, you know, up there in Rameyland in Fort Collins next year.
Got to be excited if you're a Colorado State fan, that's for sure. Scott Traina is going to head to the free throw line.
Are you saying, Corey, that I've mentioned he's going to CSU a couple times?
Yeah, you have.
Oh, I wonder who said.
Ram alumni. Or is that Ramey alum? There we go. Traina drops the first free throw. He ended that first quarter going 2 for 3 when he was fouled, tried to shoot a three-pointer that kind of brought Cherry Creek back into it after Aurora Central had kind of dominated that first quarter. Lead cut all the way down here to 4 now. As Traina drops both of them. 5:47 to go here in this first half, and Traina will have a seat after a pretty successful run toward the end of the first quarter, and here the first part of the second quarter. Giles will come in to replace him. Actually, Giles in, and so is Ahlbrandt. Quick whistle down low. Got some holding going on.
You know, we've been talking about the physical play, at least early on in the first quarter and here early in the second. What the officials were going to do, how are they going to make adjustments based on what they're seeing on the floor. Now they're kind of paying attention to the big guys banging underneath there.
A foul whistle against Josh Bond. It's his third. Quick timeout here as Aurora Central leads by 4 with 5:36 to go in the first half. Final 4, that's Mullen as they knocked off Thunder Ridge earlier here today. Cherry Creek trying to join them, and then they would have to play them in the Final 4 if they win this game. But Aurora Central trying to get to that Final 4 for the first time in their history.
While you're going over the records, you know, makes me think of how it must have been a challenge for Coach Caton trying to scout this Cherry Creek squad. They played them early on in the year on December 8th. And the Trojans took care of business, but Creek just up and down all season long. They won the first game, lost 3 in a row, including the one to Aurora Central. Then they won 8 in a row, and then topsy-turvy up and down the rest of the season. And then, bam, look at them. They're already in the grade 8.
Bounce down low. There's Montgomery going inside and had it partially knocked away by Josh Bond. As Bond jumped about the same time as he did.
Well, Bond's the leading shot blocker for the Aurora Central Trojans, so not surprising. But it does a pretty good job. The only surprise would be it's against Montgomery, and then look, they follow it up with this.
And Bond with a 2. Down on the offensive side of things, the lead goes back to 6, 14-8 here with 4:40 to go in the first half.
Nice job, 1-5. How do you like that for bench support? Comes in, blocks a shot, other end of the floor, goes ahead and sticks it.
Yeah, he's playing with 3 personals, though, so he's got to be careful. He's doing what he can to keep Montgomery a non-factor, which has happened so far. Drop step, left hand, won't go, loose ball, and Aurora Central nearly threw it away. Bond tried to go to the outlet man, and Montgomery knocked it out. So it'll be Aurora Central basketball here.
Well, if you're the Bruins, you just hope 44 doesn't get frustrated by that. That was an excellent shot. Nice turnaround spin. Saw, an easy sight to the basket there. Went left hand, just didn't fall. Hasn't been. Creek has only had 2 field goals this entire game so far.
That's amazing. 8 total points, though, so the rest coming off of the free throws that have been pretty good for the Bruins. Cunningham up top with that basketball, and he'll hand it off to Franklin, and he'll get it right back. Short little give and go. Now Cunningham pushing his way inside. A foul, and they will count the bucket, the foul, just as Cunningham was starting to make his move to the basket and start to jump into the air. So the continuation there, and it's going to go against Ryan Link.
As you see Cunningham stepping up the line right now. It's funny that it comes up right, in my head. I was thinking, how Cunningham, what I like about him as the point man, who's got a lot of skills, very patient so far. Hasn't had the opportunity to run and kind of highlight some of his athletic ability. Just waiting, patient, find some opportunities, and bam, right there, we just saw him. He saw a little space, made the drive, gets the and one, puts him up by 9.
Cunningham's got 6 points with that free throw that went through. And now Heimbrock with the basketball for the Bruins. And a timeout going to be called by Mike Brookhart. He did not like the way things were being set up out there, and he comes all the way out on the floor to discuss his displeasure with his team as they're coming off the floor, coming to him. 3:45 left to go here in the first half, and right now Aurora Central with that lead here, 17-8. Celebrate the rich tradition of a proud people. CET airing Urban Latino. It's a fun show. It's for some of the history, some of the famous people that you may know, and the music, of course, of this culture. From talented athletes to historical figures, you could take a closer look at Urban Latino late nights right here on CET.
Viva las Latinas on Channel 5.
Yeah, nice. That's not bad.
I just didn't know the Spanish word for channel.
So for Mike Brookhart, he didn't like what he saw and really let him have it there in that quick 30-second timeout. We'll see what's been changed up. Aurora Central going to a trap here, and the ball thrown away. Franklin gives it over to Cunningham. Cunningham going to be charged, going to be called for the charge. And well, as Carter Ahlbrandt lost the basketball, he got back down, played good defense, took the charge there.
There's more of what I've been talking about, though. Pressure the Cherry Creek ball handlers, which created a turnover there. You're on the break. Good job by Ahlbrandt, though, to recollect himself, because he's the one who gave it up. Got back there and drew the charge.
Runner by Heimbrock won't go. Rebound underneath Link, and he's fouled from behind. We'll have to see who this is on. Bond was near there. Franklin also standing near there. And that's going to go against Josh Bond. That's number 4 on him.
We talked about how Aurora Central's not very deep. They go about 8. We'll call it 9. But Bond is, again, the leading shot blocker on the team, just one of those very physical players, which you're going to need a few of those when you're taking on the likes of Eckloff and Montgomery for Cherry Creek. Now, if you can slip in 55 Goyer, you see him up in that front rebounding position there on the far side. He's not a bad guy to go to.
So Ryan Link hits both his free throws, those first 2 points of the night, and the lead cut to 7 here. Cunningham with the basketball here. Again, Bond is on the bench now with 4 personals. We'll see if they try to get the ball into Taylor Montgomery a little more often. That's Franklin. Long 3 on the way. Missed that one well short. Loose ball. Mabin was after it for a moment. Eckloff comes away with it for the Bruins. Ahlbrandt to bring the basketball up. It comes to Link here on the left side.
Bob Caton's not going to like that last possession. A lot of Trojans standing around.
Heimbrock for 3. Can't get the shooter's touch. There's Montgomery to clean it up for him.
Nice board, big 44. Which we talk about. Montgomery's had some good shots. They're not falling. Those are ways, along with free throws, you get those garbage buckets there, and that's the way you kind of, get some confidence, open things up for you. So we'll have to watch 44 after he gets a nice rebound and put back there.
Got 4 points here this afternoon, but that cut the lead down to 5 here. 2:27 to go in the first half. The winner moves on to the Final 4 at the CU Events Center next weekend.
Creek's gone zone. Trojans not moving much.
Mabin goes up on a double team. It's going to be either Montgomery or Eckloff. He was covered pretty well.
Finally, they get Mabin traveling baseline, get on the ball, he draws the foul, and look what happens when you get a little motion in your offense. Something happens. So my point would be Aurora Central right now just not reacting positively against Creek going to the zone defensively.
Foul goes against Montgomery. That's his second personal. Mabin will drop that first foul. Bob Caton, he's been to state championships before. That was with George Washington, and now he's got Aurora Central, and he's built a fantastic club. The only downfall that everybody talks about with the Trojans, they just don't play in a very strong conference, so they don't get to see great competition all season long.
But they do a good job scheduling outside the conference, though. I mean, they try to pack it up. You know, they took on Rangeview, Cherry Creek, Grandview, Thunder Ridge, A West. You know, so they try to offset, you know, what I guess their challenges might be with their conference schedule. We're trying to beef it up by playing Centennial squads and Continental teams.
Well, and the skyline has improved as Cherokee trails pretty good, and Montgomery trying to dribble through. Both players go to the floor, and they do not blow the whistle. Veasley, no-look pass, hit Mabin, and then bounced away. Cunningham with it, over here to the near side, 3 on the way. Too hard with the shot that time for Johnson.
Too late for Johnson, who's their leading three-point shooter. He was open right at the start of that break. Veasley had already made his mind up he was going left. Finally, they get it around, and Johnson kind of lost his rhythm.
It's Ahlbrandt with the basketball. Eckloff bounces down to Montgomery, spins in, left-hand move will go.
And with strength.
6 points for Taylor Montgomery, and that has cut the lead back to 5 again.
You see Montgomery feeling a little bit. You can see it in his face. You can see it in his nonverbal communication with his body language.
1:15 to go here in this first half. Cunningham all the way over to Veasley. Now Franklin's got it up near the timeline.
1 minute.
They're trying to pull Cherry Creek out of this zone. Comes here, Cunningham's got it.
Well, if you're not going to get motion, pulling them out is at least a reaction to the zone.
Pass to Cunningham, slashing into the lane, jumps high. Eckloff jumped high to block that shot, and actually Cunningham looked to pass it away. Good defense by the Bruins. 38 seconds to go here in the first half. Ahlbrandt, whoa, split that double team, nearly walked. Heimbrock going to be whistled for the walk as he came out and then set his feet as he caught that basketball. He's questioning it a little bit, but you could see it. He was still coming out, caught the basketball, and then made that turn, and then put that shooting foot out front.
And he had his momentum going that way, coming back towards us, or as you're watching it on the screen, going left to right. Had to use that extra foot to make the plant, and that extra foot happened to be the third step.
Yes.
And that doesn't work in basketball, does it?
No. The NBA maybe, but
yeah,
not in high school basketball. 32 seconds to go here in the first half, and see if the Trojans just play for the last shot. They've really been trying to get Creek to come out of that zone. Franklin with the basketball here. Heimbrock and Link come to double team him. Now the high post. Veasley, little head fake, little drive, and then kicks it right back out. 15 seconds to go here in the first half. Mabin with the basketball, going to drive in on the baseline, try to bounce it across, ended up hitting somebody in the shin there. That was Johnson, and then a foul as Cunningham came flying in and took out Karl Heimbrock. That will be Sean Cunningham's second personal here.
A little frustration there on the part of Cunningham. Like you keep mentioning, you've done it the last couple of possessions on the part of Aurora Central, just trying to figure out how to handle that zone. Last 2 possessions, doing the 4 corners, Dean Smith, North Carolina style, try to pull them out there. And I really like how what they do is try to collapse a point guard around the free throw lane and then have him have the ability to kick it out to the sides. They just haven't had it work out. And then, like you said, you saw the little frustration there by Cunningham on the reach. And now you put Cherry Creek back on the line. And look, they're going to pull within just 4.
Made that first free throw, missed the second, and at the end of the half, a long shot that comes up short and ends up in the hands of Scott Traina. Aurora Central got the lead at the half in a low-scoring affair, 19-15. We got those first half stats for you when we return to the Denver Coliseum, and the percentage is not very good. Aurora Central about 37%, and Cherry Creek about 25%. They've only made 4 field goals. We know that their defense, they want them to slow down Aurora Central, but the offense really hadn't gotten going yet.
Yeah, you talk about the Creek Bruins, only 4 field goals. Aurora Central's only got 6. We're playing a Cherry Creek basketball basketball game. But we've talked about it during the first couple of quarters. Aurora Central, they can play that type of basketball. They, only gave up 51 in the previous contest, 59 to make a victory. They can do that, and they've done it several times throughout the season. Big keys as far as, what's going on and what I think maybe the adjustments might be coming up for Cherry Creek. Montgomery down low. You see him building confidence, getting some nice shots. He's put a couple in. And then defensively, stay in the zone until Aurora Central can prove they can stop the zone. If you're the Trojans, defensively, I see more traps at the timeline. Veasley, Cunningham, Johnson, attack those ball handlers for Cherry Creek, create turnovers, and then you're on the run. And then if we're talking offense, more movement. You got to have guys moving around. Cunningham, dribble drive penetration. He has the vision. Look around. He sees some of those guys making the cuts.
Turnovers early for Cherry Creek were a bit of a problem. They've got 6 total coming in at the half, but they have also caused 6 turnovers for Aurora Central. And rebounding pretty even, 14-12, with the Aurora Central in the lead there. Both Franklin and Cunningham with 6 points apiece. Taylor Montgomery, he has 6 points as well. Expect to see a lot more points out of the 3 of them for Aurora Central and for Cherry Creek. At the half, 19-15. The Trojans up on the Bruins here. The second half is coming next right here from the Denver Coliseum. One to root on the Bruins here as they find themselves down by 4. Second half of the matchup here in the Elite 8. Winner moves on to the Final Four and takes on Mullen. Creek starts with a basketball here. And we're going back the other way. And Taylor Montgomery going to be whistled for the hip check. He took out Franklin as he was coming around that pick.
I wonder if that was one of the things Coach Caton was discussing with the officials as they all walked off the floor at halftime. Seemed to be displeased with somebody getting fouled. He was trying to get a little, I guess, a definition from the officials on how they can play the game and, what type of physicality they can get. I don't know if that's the case of what happened here. Officials reacting, responding to what Coach Caton was talking about, but it could be.
Well, Montgomery whistled for the foul. That is his 3rd personal now, and we're just into the second half. Heimbrock right on Franklin. Franklin, quick move to the baseline. A little double clutch shot won't go. Goyer with the rebound, tipped out by Eckloff, and now Heimbrock's got it. And he's going to stop, wait for help. Link going to push his way in. Right hand layup's good.
And you know what? You should just, if you're recording this on an old school VCR, go ahead and somehow mark that. Cherry Creek on the run for fast break points. It doesn't happen very much.
Yeah, that was it. That was the first one right there of the ball game. Veasley out there over to Mabin. Mabin will get the start here in the second half, and a 3 on the way. And Caston Mabin with his first 3-pointer, and that's a big one there because that puts the lead back to 5.
I track mark that one too. I don't expect a 3 from Mabin. Usually he's an inside player.
Link going inside, pushing in hard, tipped up by Montgomery, and a foul going to be called. And Montgomery got jostled around there just a little bit underneath.
Kind of what I was referring to at halftime. Taylor Montgomery getting a little bit more confident, using his body a little bit more. A lot more action in the lane there. You see him causing problems, causing chaos.
Well, Goyer whistled for the foul. That's the 3rd foul on him now. Montgomery double team quickly. Veasley will take it away. On the run, Veasley inside. Heimbrock reached in, fouled him, and count the bucket.
Yep, that's all about Veasley. That's what he does. He's done it all year. We made him a player of the game in the game against Grandview. That was at Grandview because Veasley just comes in off the bench and just disrupts everything. And obviously you saw his speed. He's a great defender. He gets about 2.5 steals per game, and that's what gets him his points. He only gets about 5 points a game. There's about half of them right now.
Well, Veasley missed the free throw there, but Mabin and Veasley getting the start here in the second half. They did not start the ball game.
I didn't even recognize that.
Ball tipped as Heimbrock tried to dump it inside there. Now Veasley's got the loose ball. A couple of quick turnovers for Creek. Franklin, head fake, steps inside the arc. The jumper missed off the left side, and now Cunningham's got it. Had it partially blocked by Eckloff, and Montgomery's got the basketball for the Bruins.
Well, Franklin's found something with Heimbrock guarding him. Heimbrock's done an excellent job all throughout the game, but now Karl seems to think he's going to go to the air every time and maybe have a chance to block Franklin's shot. That's not going to happen. Look for Franklin to be stepping to the side of Karl.
Link tried to throw it out to Montgomery, who had actually gone way out to the corner there, and goes off a leg of a Trojan and out of bounds. So it'll stay with Cherry Creek, but they seem to be a little bit more aggressive here offensively. That aggression, though, is costing them a little bit in turnovers, although a nice inlet pass to Trey Eckloff.
Another one of those things where the game starts to play out like my mind is thinking, which is very dangerous for the game, by the way. But I was just thinking, you know, it's time to get big 5'5" involved too. You've got the two guys, 6'7" Montgomery, 6'10" Eckloff. Get 55 involved in the offense. All of a sudden, Brookhart set play with Eckloff, and Aurora Central just had the answer, didn't they?
They did. Cunningham did that early on in the contest, and again, the defense backed off of him a little bit, so he went ahead and shot it out there from 23 feet. Heimbrock to open to Montgomery for three. Got it. Taylor Montgomery's first three-pointer of the ball game. Second attempt from out there. Finds the mark and cuts the lead back to 5 again.
Don't you like that? Boy, almost makes you wish you were a college recruiter. 6'7" guy from the outside. We know he's been playing strong inside the paint. Shoots that three, and he's tough. He's got the stitches above the left eyebrow.
Joseph Goyer, right place, right time on the miss by Cunningham there. His first points of the contest. Lead back up to 7. 4:45 to go here in the third quarter.
If you can get points from the brute Goyer, that's a good thing. Usually he's setting picks, screens, getting rebounds.
And Goyer going to be whistled for the foul there as he pulled Eckloff down with him, and that will be number 4 on him.
Number 55, Joseph Goyer.
So you got Goyer with 4, and somebody else has 4.
Goyer with 4,
Bond.
Josh Bond with 4. It's one of the reasons Bond did not start the second half.
And those are your strength guys for Aurora Central, along with Mabin. So Goyer, Bond, both have 4 fouls. And we're talking 4.5 minutes here in the third quarter. So keep that in mind as you watch this contest and we move further along.
Only trouble spot for Cherry Creek is Taylor Montgomery. He has 3. Turnover again. Ahlbrandt resetting the feet after he caught the basketball. So Aurora Central a chance to extend this lead here a little bit. Veasley, who got the start here in the second half, hands off and gets it back from Franklin. Jump pass, mid post. Goyer, turnaround baby hook won't go. Loose ball out. Heimbrock's got it. Here come the Bruins. Again, Cherry Creek not opposed to running. Stop there. Going to be whistled. And a foul down there as Heimbrock was looking to get it back to Montgomery, who was spotting up for the 3, but suddenly had someone come right across him, and I believe that's on Stephen Franklin, number 2 on him.
You see how the Bruins run the break. They basically, you know, in the case, or at least that possession, it was Karl Heimbrock. They try to run up the floor and just see if anything's going to open up. And most of the time it doesn't, because they're not that speedy a team, and then they pull back and kind of set their half-court offense.
Inlet. Well, that took a while there. They let him have at least 5 seconds to get that ball in. Heimbrock up top, high post. Montgomery turnaround, 15-footer, missed it short. Loose ball, out of bounds it goes. It'll be Bruin basketball there as Bond went high for the basketball, but only had one hand on it and couldn't quite get a hold of it.
Already you see an adjustment, and I'll work it off of some of my comments at halftime. You see Coach Brookhart right now already making an adjustment. I said Aurora Central, pressure those ball handlers for Cherry Creek. What does Brookhart do? Heimbrock now running the point. He's bigger, stronger, and obviously Brookhart has confidence in his ball handling skills.
Into Eckloff, they kick it over. Traina, the head fake there, one dribble, tried to make the pass, got it back. Now Heimbrock's got it into the lane, kicks over here to Link. 15-footer, got it. Ryan Link with 6 points here.
And so far with Heimbrock running the point, Cherry Creek a little more productive offensively.
Hanging in, down by 5, 3:35 to go here in this third quarter. And there's Franklin, a little double clutch shot as it was partially blocked. Couldn't get it to go, and Heimbrock got the rebound.
Letting them play, the officials are. Franklin got bumped by 3 different blue jerseys.
Traina inside, jumper there. 13-footer good. It's got Traina with 6 points now, and Creek suddenly finding that scoring touch. Cut the lead to 3.
And that's what was so scary. Creek, just 4 field goals we mentioned in the whole first half, and they were still within 4 or 5 points.
Creek with 4 field goals here in this second half right now. And that's just under 3 minutes to go, third quarter. Cunningham, little crossover. He's fouled. Can't quite get it to go as Ryan Link went up, got his hand on the ball, and then with that double clutch, actually ended up getting him on the arm there.
I think that was one of Coach Caton's adjustments. We saw Veasley make the start. He's running the point for the Trojans. Now you move Cunningham over to more of a shooting guard. Gives him an opportunity to create a little bit more. Beasley's out. He's coming back in right now. Davy Johnson's in number 3. You see him, actually can't see him. He's to the right of the screen behind Cunningham. But Caton's, you know, trying to, I guess, put Cunningham more in that 2-guard position. Let him create a little bit more as he just did.
Got another one coming here. Veasley's back in, as you see. Johnson will head down and do the rebounding duties. Sean Cunningham missed it. Loose ball tipped around. Veasley's got the loose ball. Now a foul as Traina was coming out to try to guard him, and Veasley was ready to take it to the corner there. First foul on Traina. Fourth team foul against Cherry Creek.
That's part of why it's fun to watch Brock Veasley. Wherever the ball is, he's going to show up. He'd be a great D-back playing football.
2:45 to go here in the third quarter. Lead of 4 for Aurora Central. And again, they are pulling out. Montgomery covering Veasley.
And you see that. There's got to be a mismatch somewhere on the floor.
Well, they haven't been able to find it yet. Montgomery staying with him here. Link is out to cover Cunningham now.
You got Eckloff sitting in the lane all alone. You can see him center of the screen.
Wild shot somehow. Cunningham got it to fall. 12 points for Sean Cunningham, and that lead goes back to 6. And pressure coming as Traina tries to get the ball in. He finally does. Montgomery then gives it right back to Traina.
There's that pressure on the ball handlers for Cherry Creek. Look.
Quick timeout. Mike Brookhart didn't like what he saw as Giles was about to be trapped over there. And boy, you pull Heimbrock out of the contest for a moment and things get a little dicey for the Bruins. Quick timeout here with 1:59 to go in the third quarter. And Aurora Central holding on to a 6-point lead. Look at there, number 32 is back into the contest. The redhead, Karl Heimbrock. He got about 30 seconds to get a rest on the bench. Coach Brookhart said, no, we need you to handle the basketball.
Well, we talked about the adjustment. Brookhart brought Heimbrock in. Creek offense doing pretty well, more productive. And really specifically talking about bringing it up the floor. You can see it right now. You got a Trojan pressuring a ball handler for Creek.
Hand check against Johnson, and that one I knew was going to be called because he was hitting him right in basically almost the ribs. Wasn't hard, but he just kept touching him. You can't hand check it. Give it off. Traina, right hand layup, good.
Now that's what Traina needs to be doing, hanging out over in the baseline there. Sees his opportunity, backdoor cut, wide open.
Lead cut to 4 here, minute 40 to go, third quarter. Bruins hanging around, hanging tough. 3 on the way. In and out, won't go for Cunningham. Eckloff gets it out quickly. Link, if they hurry, they've got a 3-on-2. That's not in the Bruins repertoire. Don't force it if it's not there. Traina to Montgomery outside the arc. All the way across Heimbrock to the corner. Link driving inside. Puts it up over Mabin, won't go. Tipped up by Eckloff.
That is trouble for Aurora Central. Now you have Eckloff involved in the offense. You see him on the screen clapping his hands. Now he's feeling it. Taylor Montgomery any more confident. And I'll tell you what, that matchup is still in effect right now. Montgomery on Veasley on both sides of the floor.
Johnson, long 3 there. Won't go, and now the Bruins a chance to tie things up with a 2 here. 3 would give them their first lead of the game.
Look, you still have Veasley on Montgomery, and look at him.
Offensive board, kisses it high off the glass. We're tied.
6 points in a row for Cherry Creek. We're evened up.
11 points for Taylor Montgomery. And with 30 seconds to go in the third quarter, we haven't decided anything. Veasley wants to pull at least Montgomery out to guard him as they play for the last shot here. 19 seconds to go in the quarter.
Veasley on the penetration, perhaps. See if the big guy can guard you.
Up pops Franklin now, working on Heimbrock. Tries to spin into him there. Wild circus shot won't go. Traina had it for a moment, gets knocked down. Out of bounds it goes. It stays with Aurora Central, and Scott Traina is going to have to scoop himself up off the floor. Boy, he got abused there.
For Cherry Creek, number 42.
Right now, Creek's got the Trojans offense in chaos. They're in freak mode right now.
3 seconds left. Montgomery comes out. Jack Elway is going to come in. We saw them do that at the end of the first quarter so that Montgomery wouldn't get a dumb foul. Not that he's prone to doing that, but you don't want your big guy in there for any short period of time. Quick 3 on the way. At the buzzer will go for Stephen Franklin.
That's
Franklin,
huge.
A little head fake and then finishes off the quarter with a big 3. So 35-32, 8 minutes left to decide who goes to the Final Four here in the 2007 Colorado State High School Basketball Championships. Stephen Franklin coming out of the huddle. There's Bob Caton. 8 minutes left in this one to decide who's going to move on to the Final Four. Be the first time Aurora Central has been there. This is where they got stopped last year by this same Cherry Creek team, and a big three-pointer by Stephen Franklin to end that third quarter.
Oh, this is Peyton Manning moment for Aurora Central. I mean, they've been good. They've been really good basketball squad, but they just haven't got over the hump and move on deep and actually get a chance to go to the CU Event Center.
Cunningham up top of the basketball. Cherry Creek actually outscored Aurora Central 17-16 in that third quarter. Cunningham worked his way toward the lane and stepped back out. Veasley now, and Traina will cover Veasley now. It had been Montgomery for a while. Veasley into the lane, high shot up, won't go. There's a rebound by Franklin. Heimbrock knocked it away. Traina on the run. Comes to Link. Link pushing inside, pulls up, jumper, won't go. Montgomery trying to keep it alive, loose ball. And I'm not sure if they just blew the whistle to make sure somebody didn't get landed on down there. Boy, Sean Cunningham was laying there for a while.
You saw him. He was actually a little bit scared. You saw him. He's going to his ear right now. I don't know if he just got grazed by a shoe, but for a moment there, he was on the bottom, and all those guys were going up for the rebound. I was afraid for him for just a moment there. Cunningham back running the point. He's running the offense. Veasley, the two guard.
So Cunningham, quick pass inside. Goyer tried to dunk it home, could not finish it off. Now Franklin inside, gives it off to Mabin. Mabin got it to go. Woo. Getting wild. And a foul there as Veasley comes up on Scott Traina. Veasley will be whistled for his second.
Well, we're inside the gym here, inside this Coliseum. Corey, do you agree with me? All of a sudden, the atmosphere just fired up. I mean, you know, all of a sudden, we pumped it up to 11 in here. People are feeling it.
5-point lead for Aurora Central. Heimbrock inside, bounces to Montgomery in the corner. To Link, they kick it over. Traina for three. Got it! Wow! His first three-pointer, he was big. Had 4 three-pointers in that win over Monte Vista on Thursday to get here to the Elite Eight. Cuts the lead to 2 with that from the corner.
I feel like the Vegas dealer reminded everybody what was in the kitty. You know, hey, guess what, guys? This is for the Final Four.
Traina with 11 points now. 2-point lead for Aurora Central. Cunningham to the free throw line, and then they kick it back out. Veasley.
I like that. Cunningham tries to create. Nothing there. Pull it back out. Try it again.
Sean Cunningham thought about the trade out of Veasley. Veasley driving in, kicks over to Goyer, and it'll come back up to Sean Cunningham.
No shot clock, plenty of time, guys.
And now Coach Caton winding them up, saying, you know what, we're going to the 4 corners here. We're going to take our time. Heimbrock still on Cunningham, bounces down to Goyer, little head fake, tried to kiss it off the glass, wouldn't go. Foul going to be called as Cunningham got the rebound and tried to put it back up in one motion.
Cunningham playing strong. Not a very thick kid. But following a shot, the miss by Goyer. Which the Trojans keep going right side. They see Goyer just outside the lane, but he's always got Montgomery right in front of him. Probably look to somewhere else. Goyer's not the type of guy who's going to create a great shot.
Cunningham now 3 for 4 free throw wise with that bucket there. So Sean Cunningham hitting his free throws when he gets the opportunity. 13 points tonight.
Cunningham 73% on the year from the free throw line.
Didn't hit the rim on either one of them.
That's a kid stepping up, huh? Your QB, your quarterback on the football team. Knows about pressure.
4-point lead now for Aurora Central here. 5:26 left to go in the game. Traina to bring the basketball up. Link's got it to Heimbrock. To the right side, head fake, goes up with it, missed it, a little long. And somebody got called for going over the back. And that's going to be Eckloff. That may be number 3 on him.
Number 55, Trey Eckloff.
Heimbrock a little intimidated, and I would be too. 3 gold jerseys just flying by you. Like, oh man, what is going on here?
Yeah.
But certainly disrupted his shot. Should have gone bank with the short little jumper. Instead, tried to go swoosh. Not going to happen, too strong. Trojans get possession, and now we have deliberation.
17 fouls, so we're going to walk down the other end, and free throws will go up here, and Mabin goes to the free throw line here.
Well, I talked about it very early in the game. Let's see what happens, especially as it started out so physical. Free throw shooting, neither one of these squads very productive from the line all year long. I mentioned 68% on the year for Aurora Central, their core players. And so far, Cunningham, we just saw him swoosh a couple.
Yep.
Mabin, nothing but nylon.
Got another one here on the bonus. Lead of 5 right now for Aurora Central. Airballed that one.
That was nylon too.
Yeah, but it didn't go through the cylinder. So 5:18 to go here in the game. That 5-point lead. Creek has never led. Tied it at 32. But then Franklin with a 3 to end the third quarter. Eckloff gets it out to Heimbrock somehow. Out to Montgomery. 3 on the way. Too hard. Missed everything. Franklin makes the catch. Aurora Central still got that 5-point lead.
When you see a shot like that from Montgomery, you got to think Creek's feeling the pressure now. A little rushed.
Cunningham, little crossover, used his body and got the easy layup.
Young man got mad here in this fourth quarter.
16
number
points.
5.
16.
Wow.
Kick there. It's going to come over here to the near side. And it'll be Creek basketball still. 10 points in the second half for Sean Cunningham.
Your go-to guy. I mean, we expect that from him, from Cunningham.
Traina's got the basketball, tried to cross it over. Franklin down on the floor, jump ball. It'll stay with Cherry Creek.
One-on-one off the dribble. That's not what you're going to do with Creek. Creek taking on Aurora Central.
Yeah, and he had a defender coming behind him and then tried to cross over on Franklin in front of him. It just not going to work. Goyer's going to come in and replace Johnson here, and you see a little taller lineup. Franklin down low. Mabin, hard worker, good rebounder down there too. 42-35. Aurora Central with that lead.
I'd like to see more Montgomery in the paint.
Heimbrock had the ball taken away. Now Cunningham will finish it off.
8-0 run for Aurora Central.
And Mike Brookhart wants to talk it over. It's getting away from Cherry Creek here. They're down by 9. 4:29 left to go here. The winner to move on to the final. The Elite Eights. Mullen beat Thunder Ridge earlier this afternoon to move on to the Final Four. The winner of this contest will play the defending state champion Mustangs. Right now things looking good for Aurora Central. Have never trailed in this contest. 44-35 right now with 4:29 left to go in the contest. Cherry Creek outscored Aurora Central in the third quarter 17-16. But now a 9-3 run to open up the quarter. And Scott Traina whistled for a travel as he caught the basketball and barreled into an Aurora Central player here.
Trojans defenders got the ball handlers for Cherry Creek a little scared. That was a tight call.
Trojans with the basketball now and a comfortable 9-point lead. High post. Franklin got it up top, driving in. Traina going to be whistled for the reach from behind.
Right now, all the Aurora Central fanatics. Ooh, sigh of relief. He got back up.
Went down a little hard there, didn't he?
Yeah. I just worry when the feet get tangled up. All of a sudden, you get ankles rolled, and then a season's over. But Franklin's toughing it out, and I like it.
Bruins shooting percentage up from 25% at the half. They're shooting about 40% now. Traina gets the miss by Franklin there on from the free throw line.
Eckloff's calling for it. Give it to him.
Now the big guy wants it at the high post. Heimbrock's got it now. To the corner it comes. Traina trying to bounce it down low to Montgomery, and a hold, and Franklin is going to be whistled for that one as they are really trying to get the ball inside, something we haven't seen here in the last 7 or 8 minutes.
Bruins got to go back to it. You got the two big guys we've been talking about. There's Eckloff. He was screaming for it, and he had great position too in the paint. All of a sudden they switched out. Eckloff came high. Montgomery back down low. If you don't get an easy back at easy basket or a nice layup, then all of a sudden you get some more fouls. And we know there's two guys with 4 fouls, two of the strength guys for Aurora Central.
Eckloff mid post. Heimbrock comes around here to the right side, and now he'll get it back. Eckloff, high post. There's Montgomery trying to dribble it around over to Traina for three. Got another one.
Getting it to the big guys, right? And if the layup's not there, what did I say? You can get an easy layup, you can get some fouls, or everybody collapses down on you. Montgomery realized that 3 gold jerseys on him. Somebody got to be open, and sure enough, there's a guy hanging out behind the arc.
Traina's got 10 points here in the second half, 14 for the game, and he just cut the lead to 6 with that big three-pointer. Well, if you have missed some of the great games that we have had on all season long, and I'm not just talking basketball, but I'm talking football and volleyball, or even the upcoming baseball season that we'll have for you here on CET, you have a chance to purchase a DVD of any one of those contests, including today's game. The Elite Eights, Aurora Central and Cherry Creek. It's really easy to do. Just visit our website. It's ispn.tv. You can order up any one of those, and you can even see our ugly mugs too. Sometimes. we don't put our mugs on there too often because we're afraid it will cut down on the DVD sales.
Yeah, it scares the moms.
Yeah. So a lot of basketball, a little bit of us. ispn.tv though. Aurora Central will come out of their timeout. Bob Caton a little concerned about the way things were going for Aurora Central after that three-pointer by Traina. Still got a 6-point lead. Franklin, a little head fake inside he comes. Kissed it high off the glass. Nobody really challenged. Montgomery was late getting over.
You see Heimbrock do that again. Franklin just lets him jump up and commit, and Franklin goes by him. And Karl hadn't been doing that the entire game.
Trying to lob it in. Montgomery was triple team. Mabin comes away with the loose ball. Bounce across the lane, dangerous. Veasley's got it now. He'll throw it over to Franklin, and they will pull it out, set the offense up, take a little time off the clock here. 2:48 to go in the game. Cunningham driving inside. Nice scoop pass to Veasley, who lays it in. Think the Trojans start to feel it a little bit. That's a 10-point lead.
That was huge. Again, what we were talking about, Cunningham back at the point. Now he's created. He does the dribble drive penetration, has the option to go ahead and do scoop shot on his own, or he sees people crashing in from the outsides.
Shot up, won't go. I was watching Montgomery trying to get position, and Mabin backed him out of the lane.
Still, for some reason, don't want to get it into the big boys.
Cunningham dribble between the double team, and now a foul going to be called. That's going to go against Ryan Link. Link whistled for his 4th personal here. Still shooting the 1-and-1s, and Cunningham to the free throw line. He's done just fine from there. 4 for 5 from the line here tonight. Timeout. We're going to keep it right here.
That was a nifty little move by Cunningham. Reminded me of like Joe Sakic, you know, on the break, 2 defenders at the blue line, and he just cuts in between them.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. It just kind of pushed the ball out in front. Said, I'll get the ball after I get through the double team. And nice description. That's what it looked like. Leave the puck out front, get between the double team, go back, get the puck.
And a good job by you using coach's speak, because that's exactly what you do. The ball moves faster than me. Kick it out there, I'll get it later.
Right. That's true.
Yeah.
2:09 to go here in the ball game, and Aurora Central starting to get into a bit of a comfort zone now. You got a 10-point lead. They have slowed things down a little bit. They don't mind that. But again, at the same time, Sean Cunningham, Stephen Franklin have found the openings when they spread this offense out. They've gotten a couple of layups where the defense has been slow to rotate over and cover.
And that kind of goes against detractors of the Aurora Central game and how they play. You know, you might want to, you know, just say that they're just a run and gun team, all fast break. You know, they don't really think too much. But you see that maturation there. You got Cunningham and Franklin, like you described, Corey. They know how to just pull back a little bit and then wait for those spaces to open up. And when they see them, when the opportunity's there, we'll go ahead and take it. Otherwise, we got the clock working for us. 10-point lead, just about 2 minutes left. Let's take our time.
Franklin misses the front end of that 1-and-1, so 10-point lead. The Bruins got some work to do now. Traina going to drive inside, pulls back a little hard with that jumper there from 13, and the defensive board for the Trojans. And again, they're going to take their time moving this ball up.
If I'm Scott Traina's parents, I'm going, hey, you know what, Scott? You weren't afraid of those guys. He's had a good ball game.
Minute 43 to go in the contest now. Creek got a steal. Ahlbrandt took it away now. Left-hand dribble in, tried to spin out of it. Eckloff will get the loose ball. Over to Heimbrock, over to the corner. 3 on the way. Ahlbrandt missed everything.
I wanted Ahlbrandt to hit that too. He's been harassed all game long. Got the steal, came down the floor. It would have been nice for him to hit that shot.
Traina tried to pick Cunningham's pocket there. He gets whistled for his 3rd personal.
Fouls on number 1.
Double bonus time now, so back to the free throw line goes Sean Cunningham. Minute 24 to go here in the ball game.
That was Traina on the screen, and I've been talking about how, you know, he's a guy who clearly has not been intimidated by this gold squad, the guys who are the Trojans, Aurora Central, undefeated on the year. He's really brung it throughout this particular contest. You know, it showcased right there where he's not afraid of Cunningham. I would say that anytime I'm going to pressure Cunningham, that's a gamble, man.
Yeah.
You know, but Traina's not afraid. So good job for him for, you know, bringing his best effort.
Josh Bond back into the contest too. He's been sitting on the bench for quite some time, playing with 4 personals. Now they've got the leading shot blocker back in there. Cunningham hits the first to that double bonus.
In the lineup for Cherry Creek, number 12, Rick Giles, replacing number 55, Trey Eckloff.
I think Mr. Cunningham is definitely working towards a little POG consideration.
Yeah, he is. Speaking of which, our post-game show, we'll talk to the winning coach and our Skate City player of the game, so make sure you stick around for that. Lead goes to 12 as Sean Cunningham hits both free throws. 20 points for Sean Cunningham and the Trojans up 50-38. Traina for 3 left side. Got another one.
Scott Traina.
3rd three-pointer of the 4th quarter, and a timeout here. We'll take one as well. Creek back within 9 with 1:11 to go here in the Elite 8 matchup. Still trying to get their boys over the top here. Cherry Creek has never led in this contest. We were tied at 32 right toward the end of the 3rd quarter before Franklin dropped a big 3-pointer. Have not been able to get the lead, and now have to resort to fouling here, down by 9. And they are sending Davy Johnson to the line, and Johnson was there in the 1st quarter, 1 for 2. You certainly don't want to foul Cunningham because Cunningham has been tearing you apart from the free throw line.
Well, that's one of the phases of the game for Aurora Central that Creek has done a good job successfully taking Davy Johnson out of it, because part of their game, Aurora Central, is kicking it out to Johnson. He usually gets 3-4 3-pointers a game. And he's got nothing this game.
Johnson hits the first one. Got another one coming. Montgomery wanders back into the contest here. 1:10 left to go. Got to find a way to get the ball to either Scott Traina for a 3 or Montgomery for an easy bucket down low. And Davy Johnson comes through. 2 big free throws there. The lead goes back to 11. Ahlbrandt to bring the ball in, nearly walked with it. Heimbrock over to Traina. 3, missed that one short. Ball tipped around. Ahlbrandt got it. Heimbrock, he'll launch a 3. Missed it short. Loose ball tipped around. Who's got it? Aurora Central for the moment. Traina knocked it away. Now Mabin and Giles with the basketball, and a jump ball, and the possession arrow favors Aurora Central.
Well, they got another 3-point attempt from Traina, who has been sizzling hot here in this 2nd half. You can see him on the screen right now, just fading out to the left side. There's Traina once again having an outstanding ball game. He's a senior. This possibly is his last game of the career, and he's certainly put out in his finale.
Cunningham gets the long pass down low, and he's going to back it out, run a little more time off, and Giles has to foul him, and you send Cunningham to the line with 47 seconds left to go in the game.
Well, I'll follow up my kudos that I've been offering so much for Traina. Bring back around to Aurora Central. You see Cunningham going, what are we going to do, guys? How are we going to set up? I'm about to shoot some free throws, and that's what I want to talk about is the free throws. We talked about Trojans not very solid on the charity stripe. This game, man, have they performed.
Trying to count them up here. 7 for 9 in the 4th quarter alone. Cunningham going to up that ante there a little bit.
Montgomery back in.
Yeah, from the free throw line, things have worked out pretty good for Aurora Central. 9 for 14 altogether in the 3rd quarter. So add those together. That's 16 for 23. Not bad.
And that's how you end up advancing in the playoffs. Is you got to find a phase of the game that you can improve on, or show something that people don't expect. Banging free throws down consistently late in the game is something you don't expect from Aurora Central, a phase of the game that they're not very successful at throughout the season. And bam, taking care of business this evening as they slowly move pretty closer. You can hear the applause kind of building up here. I think the Trojans fanatics kind of feeling it. Possibly a trip up to Boda.
Yeah, a little time at the event center there. A chance to face off against the defending state champions next weekend. Johnson hits the first free throw. He's got another one coming here, and well, we're going to see some new faces checking in as Johnson is in there. Danny Keith, the senior, in there for Cherry Creek as well. Heimbrock will come out of the contest as Johnson finishes it off. A perfect 4 for 4 here in the fourth quarter for him. 55-41 now with just 30 seconds left to go. Ahlbrandt finds Giles, launches a three, missed it off the right side. Franklin's got it for Aurora Central, and he's going to take his time bringing it up as they will run the clock out here. 15 seconds left to go. Well, the Trojans have taken the next step. They have gotten by the Sweet 16. They have gotten by the Elite 8. They're now into the Final Four and one step closer as that perfect season continues. They're 26-0. The final 55-41. Coming up next, we'll talk to Bob Caton and our Skate City Player of the Game here on Comcast Entertainment Television.
Welcome back to CET Sports. Marty Cesario on your post-game segment. Aurora Central getting the job done. With us, our Skate City Player of the Game, Sean Cunningham. Just tell me how you're feeling. Moving on to the Final Four.
It's great, but, you know, that's not our goal. We want to just keep going, you know what I'm saying, keep fighting, and our goal is championship. We want the medal.
Is that something Coach Caton's been pushing? I mean, we've been talking about it extensively, how you guys, you know, got dropped in Sweet 16 a couple times, then the grade 8. Now you get to move on finally, but your attitude is you know what, that's not enough for us?
No, it's not. Coach Caton, he brings a different kind of fire to practice every day. The intensity level is increased every day in practice. It starts in practice. The people that don't play, they work our butts off in practice.
Yeah, and that's as something you can kind of see, Coach Caton really big on, you know, we don't just do one player. We're going to have everybody involved. You can see all the Trojans behind us here as they hold up their Final Four plaque and everything. So it's a real team effort here. Let's talk about you individually. You know, we got to the fourth quarter, you had like 5-6 points, something like that. All of a sudden you busted loose a total of 21. Is it important for you as a senior and the point guard, the head man, to really step up in the final moments of a game?
Well, I would say yeah, but, man, I just, you know, I take what's given to me. If they're laying off, I'm going to shoot it. If they come up, I'm going to drive past them.
I was kind of noticing that, Sean, was, you know, let's have Sean hang back a little bit and just be patient. You got the clock working for you and the lead, and then if there's some opportunities there, you'll take them, and you did.
Yeah, I guess the time came, so did what was best.
Right. Exactly.
As a point guard, yeah, that's my job. Make sure every possession counts. You know?
There you go. Final thing I just want to say, guys are telling me today's your birthday, so happy birthday to you, my man. What a great way to celebrate.
Thanks.
There you go. Sean Cunningham, our player of the game, number 5, getting it done. Again, 21 points for our Skate City Player of the Game. Birthday boy is there. Let's go ahead and talk to Coach Caton, who's going to walk out in here. Is this your son?
Grandson, yeah.
There you go, future Trojan baller right there.
There you go.
How are you feeling? Very emotional victory, Coach?
Oh, yeah, this was a good win for the school and for these guys that worked real hard. Sean and Steve have been with us for 4 years, Tom and Stephenson, and so what a reward for them. When we took the program over, you know, it wasn't at the very top of everything, and, you know, just such a thrill to do what we're doing.
Were you very excited about how well defensively you played in this game? Early on, first quarter, only 10-6. They had just 2 field goals.
Well, yeah, our players got after it pretty good. You know, we try to stress that, as you know, defense and our rebounding and taking care of the ball, and all those 3 things really help you win every game possible.
Is it fair to say that, you know, if someone thinks that Aurora Central is all about scoring 90+ and working the break all the time, you're sadly mistaken?
Well, we got to do whatever presents itself. You know, games, I mean, points coming pretty hard at this stage of the tournament, and so we know that. So it's a like I tell them, every possession counts big.
You're going to play another tough Centennial team. What do you know about Mullen?
Oh, we know a little bit about them. They know a little bit about us. So we're probably just both going home, relaxing, and enjoy this game, and then get ready to go.
And you guys are going to learn a little bit more about each other too coming up here.
That's right. That's right. We know they got a very good ball club. A lot of our guys know their players. You know, players all know each other nowadays anyway.
Right.
So it'll be fun.
There you go, Coach Caton, Sean Cunningham, kind of breaking the ice there, moving over to the Final Four. They got the job done going to the CU Event Center. They'll take on Mullen next here in the Colorado State 5A playoffs. We'll bring our play-by-play guy, Corey Lopez, in just moments as we continue our post-game segment here on CET Sports.
Back here to the Denver Coliseum. Well, two Final Four teams in there now. Mullen, and we know that they will take on Aurora Central as the Trojans move to the Final Four for the first time under Coach Bob Caton. They finally made it that next step. Let's talk about Cherry Creek, though, here as we finish things out. Creek turned the ball over 12 times. That's not bad at all. Problem is they just kept going away from the big guys. Taylor Montgomery finishes his career out here as a Bruin with 11 points and 7 rebounds. Didn't see the ball much in the fourth quarter.
Well, I think credit the big guys for Aurora Central, probably pushing Coach Brookhart away from going into those post players in Eckloff and Montgomery we're talking about. So, you know, maybe Trojans defense a lot more prolific, a lot more successful than we want to give him credit for.
Karl Heimbrock did a nice job defensively, going all out as always for him. And Scott Traina, the senior, 17 points to lead all Bruin scorers in this contest. For Aurora Central, how about that Sean Cunningham and Stephen Franklin? Cunningham 20 points, 8 rebounds. Franklin 11 points, 8 rebounds for him. The fantastic double duo, I guess, really led the way today.
That's what's got to scare you. Franklin is your superstar, an all-state player, you know, probably top 2 in this state. And he's only scoring 11 points. He hadn't really produced that much in these playoffs, and Aurora Central's still getting the job done. Got to be danger for anybody going to take on, and of course, Sean Cunningham. You know, we just talked to him, and you and I talked about it at the end of the game. So great to watch a senior kid just step up. He knows what his role and responsibility is, and he just flat out took over in the fourth quarter. Happy birthday, Sean Cunningham. Got the JOB done.
Absolutely. And Bob Caton told his players before they went into the interview with us, hey, it's about teamwork, guys. Still about teamwork. Got a couple more games to go, hopefully, for Aurora Central. Also want to make mention, they slowed things down. They slowed things down, not Cherry Creek toward the end, and controlled this ball game. They did score 12 points against Cherry Creek's 3 points, scoring off of turnovers. So they did what they had to do all the way around.
Yeah, that's a big key. Aurora Central, you know, again, you think they're just going to run and gun and do that, you know, kind of play like the Denver Nuggets. Not the case. If you want to bring it to 50, they'll play that way and be successful. They've done it quite often throughout the regular season. They beat Pooter at just 50, just gave up 50 again, and they're undefeated.
26-0 is how things are for Aurora Central as they move on to the Final Four. The final here this afternoon, 55-41. Aurora Central knocks off Cherry Creek. A little revenge, and the Trojans are moving on to the Final Four. Thanks, everyone, behind the scenes for all the hard work that you guys have done. Thanks, everyone, for watching. For my partner, Marty Cesario, I'm Corey Lopez. Goodbye from the Elite Eight and the Denver Coliseum.